This conference will now be recorded.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our October edition of our monthly CyberSecure Canada webinar series. My name is Brendan Dunphy, and I am the Director of Trust and Compliance with CyberNB New Brunswick. Today, our topic will be Implement Strong User Authentication as it pertains to the CyberSecure Canada certification framework. And this webinar will be recorded. Participants can ask questions via the chat box. We will address questions during the Q&A portion at the end of the presentation, time permitting, of course. Any questions that are not addressed can be asked via email to info@brunnet.com or info@cybernb.ca. Today, our industry guest speakers will be from BrunNet IT Solutions. So we actually have two speakers today, which I'm pretty excited about. So with that, let's get started. CyberNB launched the Trust and Compliance program with the goal of helping organizations of all sizes operate safely in the digital economy. Canadian businesses must ensure their systems, operational processes, and data are secure. This is especially true for small and medium-sized companies, which often lack the resources that larger organizations have to continually monitor threats. CyberNB connects businesses of all sizes with accreditation bodies and certification bodies so they can mitigate risk and obtain required certification. Our trust and compliance initiatives include liaising with national and international certification bodies, helping businesses obtain required certification and accreditation, promoting best practices in assessing vulnerabilities and threats, and expanding market opportunities to compete in supply chains that require accreditation. For more information on the trust and compliance programs and initiatives, visit our website, cybernb.ca/trust and compliance. So what is CyberSecure Canada? Well, CyberSecure Canada is a voluntary cybersecurity certification developed by the federal government of Canada. It was designed with the following goals in mind: to improve Canada's small and medium organizations' cybersecurity baseline, raise awareness and educate all Canadians about cybersecurity, and increase consumer confidence in the digital economy of Canada. It is based on 13 control areas found in the baseline cybersecurity controls for small and medium organizations, shown on the slide, for example. And as you can see, there are several topics here. For example, backup and encrypt data. You need to ensure business critical data is backed up to facilitate quick recovery from an incident. Employee awareness training. As a first line of defense, organizations should train employees on basic security policies. And of course, our topic today, use strong user authentication. For the sake of time, I will not go into an in-depth conversation on each control today. For more details on the controls, please visit our website, cybernb.ca/trust and compliance, and select the Learn More button under CyberSecure Canada. For implementing strong user authentication, CyberSecure Canada recommends organizations should have user authentication policies that balance security with usability. Whenever possible, use two-factor authentication. Only changing passwords when there is suspicion or evidence of a security issue, such as the accidental disclosure of a password or evidence that someone has compromised an account. Organizations should have clear policies on password length and reuse and the use of password managers, and the conditions that a user must meet to physically write down and store a password. So what are the requirements under this control topic? So there are 3 control requirements under this topic, and they are baseline control 5.1, Organizations should implement two-factor authentication whenever possible and document all instances where they make the business decision not to do so. Organizations should require two-factor authentication for important accounts such as financial accounts, system administrators, cloud administration, privileged users, and of course, senior executives. Baseline control 5.2, organizations should only enforce password changes on suspicion or evidence of compromise. And baseline control 5.3, organizations should have a clear policy on password length, reuse, and the use of password managers, and if, when, and how users can physically write down and securely store a password. So, to get started, you could navigate to cybernb.ca/trust compliance and select the Get Started button under CyberSecure Canada. This will direct you to our secure online portal. From here, you can register to process the CyberSecure Canada certification requirements. Our portal is powered by Microsoft Azure and utilizes the robust security features as well as multi-factor authentication. To register to the select the register button to the right of the screen. Registration to the portal is $350 plus tax. This provides access to the portal, which will clearly demonstrate the control requirements as well as the required supporting evidence to support the control. When completing the certification requirements in the portal, you will be presented with a series of statements. We refer to them as statements due to, by selecting Implemented, you are attesting that the statement is true and that your organization has implemented this specified control. The example on the slide is Statement 11, which provides compliance for baseline control 1.3. So it states, organizations shall consider purchasing a cybersecurity insurance policy that includes coverage for incident response and recovery activities, or provide a rationale for not purchasing one. So by clicking Implemented, you're stating that that statement is true within your organization. And then the evidence you would provide would be in the box below. It states, provide your organization's cybersecurity insurance policy certificate or the rationale for not purchasing one. So you can either enter your rationale in that box, or you can select the Choose Finals button to upload a document that would support the control for this requirement. You'll notice that the Submit for Certification button at the bottom of the box there is grayed out. You will not be able to submit for certification review until you have completed all 51 statements for the CyberSecure Canada certification. When you complete the statements, the button will light up and allow you to submit for certification review. When you submit for certification review, you'll be contacted and you'll have the choice between one of the 4 accredited CyberSecure Canada certification bodies, who will then be able to access your account on the portal and review your submission. The cost of the certification review is set by the selected certification body. The available CyberSecure Canada accreditation bodies include Bulletproof Solutions, CyberSecurity Canada, SourceTech IT, and OneTech Cyber Risk Management. At any step along the way, should you require assistance, you can request a practitioner to provide you with professional implementation guidance and support. For example, BrunNet IT Solutions, our presenter today. They can assist you with all aspects from general implementation questions all the way up to implementing all the required compliance controls and completing the certification submission for you. We are very pleased to announce a new agreement with Hub International and CyberNB. This agreement with Hub and CyberNB will ensure that all organizations processing cyber certification through our secure online portal will not only be eligible for cybersecurity insurance, but will also receive a 10% discount off the cyber insurance standard rates. It underscores the point that cyber insurance is a must-have and not just a standalone protection. Your business policies, from professional liability to umbrella coverage, may have gaps and how well they protect you. Cyber insurance can close those gaps. Cyber insurance is an extremely important component to ensure business continuity. By transferring some of the financial risks associated with cyber incidents, the impact of an organization's production and reputation will be marginal, as expenses to support recovery, business interruptions, and ransomware attacks will be covered. If you have interest in getting certified today to start your cyber insurance savings, please visit our website to register. So as part of our monthly Partner Spotlight series, we will be showcasing a specific partner and their unique offering to the CyberSecure Canada program. October's Partner Spotlight is BrunNet IT Solutions. They're a managed service provider that excels in providing IT solutions and industry-leading technologies to clients throughout Canada. They have been providing practitioner support for national cybersecurity certification frameworks for as long as Canada has had such offerings. CyberNB Inc. is proud to list them among our trusted managed service providers. We have a Partner Spotlight page on our website showcasing BrunNet's specific offerings in this space, as well as a blog featuring BrunNet Solutions Chief Executive Officer, Adam Sprague. So please visit our website and check it out. So now I'd like to introduce our industry guest speakers. Justin Wood is BrunNet's Senior Systems Engineer, and he will present on strong user authentication for us today. Justin is BrunNet's Senior System, and Justin leads the company's growing cybersecurity practices. Justin has been with BrunNet since 2010 and in the IT industry since 1999. Justin excels with utilizing today's technology to solve real-world business problems. He is passionate about cybersecurity and believes strongly in his focus to educate and protect clients from ever-changing threats. Justin carries many technical certifications as they relate to his role with BrunNet. His skill set includes consulting, project management, cybersecurity, network design, cloud, and virtualization. But before we get to Justin's presentation, we will hear from BrunNet's Chief Executive Officer, Adam Sprague. Adam has been in the IT industry since 1997. He has overseen BrunNet's overall strategic direction for the past decade and has helped the company grow into one of the largest IT solution providers in Canada. Adam holds a Bachelor's of Business Administration degree and Diploma in Technology Management and Entrepreneurship from the University of New Brunswick. He also has several industry-related sales and technical certifications from BrunNet's vendor partners. Adam serves on numerous committees and boards, including being the current president of Synex BrunNet Canadian Council. His skill set includes leadership and business management, technical sales, vendor relations, and project management. So with that, I will stop sharing and hand the presentation over to Adam. Justin.
Thanks, Brendan. Really appreciate the introduction. That was a great presentation. I think Justin is just pulling up the screens for us now. Awesome. Thanks, Justin. So we're here today to present about strong user authentication. I just really want to quickly jump on before Justin's presentation and just thank everybody for the opportunity to present today and welcome all the attendees. As Brendan mentioned, I'm Adam Sprague, CEO of BrunNet, and having been in this little crazy industry of ours since 1997. So with me today, I'm proud to have Justin Wood. He is our Senior Systems Engineer and leads our growing security practice. So I just want to give you just a really quick, just 2-minute overview of BrunNet. So we started back in 1995 as an internet service provider and value-added reseller of computer hardware and software technologies. We did quite well growing this reseller business throughout Atlantic Canada, but we slowly realized that with the rapidly shrinking margins and changing customer requirements that we really had to pivot and focus way more on services. So approximately 6 years ago, we invested heavily in platforms and staff that really allowed us to build out the foundation of what we go to market with today as a managed service provider. So through this model, with us, we either supplement our customers' existing IT staff with some of our specialized expertise, or we actually become the customer's IT departments and manage everything from the help desk to our customers' networks, including security components. This side of the business really continues to grow rapidly, and particularly the managed security aspect has really become the key cog in our offerings. When I think back to even a couple of years ago, I get the privilege of talking to a lot of business owners and CEOs within our customers. And our security message that I was taking to them at the time just wasn't really hitting home. We saw it as very, very important and tried to convince them that some of the steps they had to take. But most of them, and even especially in the small and medium-sized business companies, just didn't believe they were at risk. And I couldn't really blame them. Took a lot of convincing. Why would they be at risk? Who would target a small company in Atlantic Canada? Most of them, unfortunately, really chose to put their heads in the sand and try to ignore the issue altogether. Over the past 6 months, this has extremely changed very, very fast. Every conversation I'm now having with our customers is around security. It starts with it, it ends with it, and that's everyone wants to know what we're doing to help ensure the business is protected. There's just been too many incidents now for people to ignore. Everyone knows of a company or a friend that's been impacted by a cyber attack. So this, combined with this crazy pandemic and all the different security requirements now companies are being forced to put in place to support this new work from home paradigm and some of the other requirements, has really put security on the top of everyone's radar, where I think it really truly belongs. So this is really why we are so thrilled to partner with CyberNB and be part of the CyberSecure Canada program. CyberNB has done a fantastic job in spreading the message. We're very excited to work closely with them together to help improve our customers' security posture. So that's really all for me. I just want to say a quick hello. I'll stick around for the presentation and happy to answer any questions following. Now I'll turn it over to who I call the smart guy, and you can take it over, Justin.
Okay, great. Thanks very much, Adam. The overview of the presentation today is on strong user authentication as it relates to cybersecurity. I know this can be a pretty dry topic talking about this stuff, so I'll try and keep it somewhat brief yet informative at a high level for everyone in attendance. Just a quick intro slide here on the cybersecurity, and one of the foundational parts of cybersecurity starts with knowing what systems, devices, and applications are vulnerable in your environment. This could be because of software bugs, hardware, software misconfigurations, etc. Vulnerability assessments are key at giving you insight to security risks in your environment, allowing you to take proactive steps to protect your data, which is the hacker's goal, in the end, is to get your data. Okay, so this is a neat little comic here where the hacker has gathered sensitive information and is using it to pay for his purchases. And in today's world, it's not just the financial data that is sensitive. It can be customer information like names, addresses, payment information, employee data like banking information, usernames and passwords, or data associated with a credentialing process. Intellectual property, IP, and trade secrets is huge when it comes to sensitive information. If your software, your designs get stolen, that's a big hit to your company and could even put you under. What about industry-specific data, customer payment information that gets stored, medical records, etc.? It's all very important stuff. So the introduction to strong user authentication. So what is strong user authentication? Well, it's a method that combines at least 2 authentication factors of different types for enhanced security when verifying the identity. The most common methods combine the use of something that the user knows with something that the user has. The most basic example would be a bank card and your PIN. The PIN is something you know, and the bank card is something you have in your possession. But just to note, not all 2-factor solutions are equal, but implementing them will obviously improve your overall organizational security posture. So let's talk about the CyberSecure Canada baseline controls. Brendan already went over this earlier on his presentation, but let's take a look at the key areas. The baseline control 5.1, organizations should implement two-factor authentication wherever possible and require it for important accounts, such as those who work with financial data, system administrators, privileged users, and senior execs in cloud administration. And from my experience, people who are in accounting departments, senior execs or management people on a management team, they're often targets of phishing emails or targeted phishing emails trying to get them to give up their credentials. And if they fall victim to the phishing scam, or they supply their credentials, or they're leaked, and they don't have a multi-factor authentication built in, there's a pretty much 100% chance that they're going to be compromised. And then going on to baseline control 5.2, organizations should enforce password changes on suspicion or evidence of a compromised account. So, I mean, in the past, it was always touted to change your password every 30 or 60 days. But now with the new federal controls, it's now suggested that if you have a longer longer password or passphrase, and then, minimum 14 characters or whatever the case might be, and then maybe only change it in the event of it being compromised. So on to baseline control 5.3, we're looking at organizations should have clear policies on the password length, reuse, and the use of password managers, and if users can physically write down passwords and how they would securely store those. I can't stress enough how important this one is. It's important to have a policy for your organization. Password length should be at minimum 14 characters. Password managers are a great tool to have in the organization, which reduces how often a password should be written down. Again, from experience, we've had customers, or we've gone into places where we've seen passwords written on sticky notes, stuck under the keyboard, stuck in a desk drawer that's not secured in any fashion. The accounts can be easily compromised in this way. And talking about the current state of password security, BrunNet's a partner with WatchGuard. For those of you who are not aware of WatchGuard, they've been around since 1996 and they've pioneered cybersecurity technology. We use a portfolio of their products as it relates to firewalls, security monitoring, and multi-factor solutions. WatchGuard performed a recent survey around weak passwords, stating that 83% of business owners and IT decision makers knew their employees know that password best practices are important, but still believe they engage in the following poor practices. And here are the statistics. So some of those are pretty astounding. 47% believe their employees are still using simpler, weak passwords. 40% believe their employees still click on phishing emails. 36% using unsecure Wi-Fi, and then the list goes on. And so 84% of the IT decision makers in the SMB market or SME market would rather have technology in place than rely on policies alone to enforce that strong user authentication. And so on to multi-factor authentication, it's commonly referred to as two-factor or multi-factor. This is an authentication method that requires the user to provide two or more verification factors to gain access to resources such as cloud accounts, email accounts, VPN, domain logins, etc. Some examples are using a physical token. I'm sure some people here have like an RSA token or something similar. They've had a physical token with a 6-digit code or whatever the case is, changing every 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You can receive SMS text messages to a mobile device or a soft token such as a mobile app. A lot of the soft token apps today are allowing for push notifications to improve the user experiencing without sacrificing security, because it's been my experience is it's like a sliding scale. It's user experience and security, and they go up and down competing against each other. And so how common is multi-factor authentication currently? So of the WatchGuard study that they completed, companies that currently don't have it, 83% are interested in it, and 65% plan to purchase some MFA solution in the future. And there's a clear uptake in multi-factor authentication, even among the SME market of the companies that are using MFA. Here are some stats on what they're using. And So like for instance, there's 56% using desktop authenticators, 47% using SMS, 44% using mobile tokens, 40% don't know what they're using, but they are using a solution. 61% are using cloud-based servers. So keep in mind, while it's good to see businesses using MFA, you have to keep in mind that not all the solutions are equal. And like for instance, some have deemed that SMS messages are an insecure method of authentication because they can be spoofed or intercepted by an attacker. If a hardware token is lost or stolen, it could also pose a potential threat, resulting in a security gap, which may lead to a breach. A good analogy is this, if you're in your office building and the fire alarm goes off, what's typically the first thing you're going to grab and take with you when you exit the building? It's your cell phone, right? I mean, nobody's thinking about grabbing that physical token and taking it with you. So, I mean, if someone intercepts that token, it could be considered a security gap. And so some of the technology prevention that can be put in place, keep your systems up to date, keep the security vulnerabilities patched, keep antivirus on your system, keep it updated, keep it enabled, have clear password policies defined in effect, and have multi-factor authentication measures in place that follow the baseline controls in section 3.5. Have a reliable backups in place and a recovery plan. Have all that in place, have the cyber insurance. That's, as Brendan said, that's critical to have that nowadays in this industry. And the human prevention is some key tips here. Create a strong password that you won't forget by using a passphrase, which makes it harder for hackers to guess. So as such, using passphrases like 3 or 4 words with maybe a number or a character is much harder to crack than a password that would be something like in the example on the presentation. Use a different password and passphrase for every site. Don't try to use the same credentials so that if one account is compromised, then they don't have access to other services. Make use of password managers. These have become quite popular as of late, and some examples there are like LastPass, Bitwarden, 1Password. And can't stress enough, ongoing cyber awareness training for your staff. This is an important one. Even if everyone doesn't get it, it's great to have the staff aware of what's going on in the industry and just to have them thinking about those practices. So in summary, the multi-factor authentication is no longer just for the big enterprise guys anymore. I mean, it's important for all organizations regardless of size. The key is to offer a multi-factor authentication solution that's affordable, easy to deploy and manage. This helps address the perceived difficulties that keep business owners and IT decision makers from embracing MFA. And it's no longer an optional precaution. It's become a business requirement in today's world. BrunNet has several MFA solutions available, so please reach out to us if you want more information on that. And I just wanted to go over an offering that we are giving out. So for a limited time, BrunNet's offering a free network vulnerability assessment for up to 5 external IP addresses or domains. And the vulnerability assessment provides actionable intelligence, resulting in less time and effort to assess, prioritize, and remediate issues. So we have a link there on the screen. If you wanted to go to that, you can register for your free assessment. Otherwise, you can reach us at our email address, which is info@brunnet.com, or you can also reach out to Cyber New Brunswick as well, and they can put you in touch with us. And on that note, we hope the outcome of this presentation will get you thinking about authentication as it relates to you and your IT infrastructure. And hopefully it'll spark some discussion about how it can be improved to better align with the best practices for CyberSecure Canada standards. And I'd like to thank Cyber New Brunswick for giving us the opportunity to be in the partner spotlight for October. And if you have any questions, again, please reach out to Cyber New Brunswick, or if you have questions for BrunNet, please contact us at info@brunnet.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. That was great. That's a good presentation. So first of all, I guess we'll open the floor to if anyone has any questions for Justin or BrunNet or myself. Cricket's a trip, and I guess I'll ask a quick question. You said that not all multi-factor authentication platforms are created equal. So do you have a preferred multi-factor authentication platform that you use?
Yeah, the offering that we've been using quite a bit has been AuthPoint from WatchGuard, and we have the ability to do that by using soft tokens or physical tokens. I mean, we realize that there's not always going to be, the perfect scenario where a soft token, especially in BYOD environments, you may have staff with personal devices that, they don't have, say, a corporate mobile phone. They may need to have that, that token or that multi-factor, and they require the physical token for that. But we do have other solutions available, but our go-to solution has been AuthPoint from WatchGuard. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a WatchGuard firewall in place, and it works with a plethora of solutions and different external identities. We have the options of doing almost like a single sign-on portal where we can have it linked in through SAML authentication with Office 365, Salesforce, and basically there's a number of, I think well over 100 different vendors that they support for doing single sign-on for multi-factor.
Interesting. So would you say that the free multi-factor authentication, like the freeware that's available out there, would you say they're reliable?
I would say, yeah, it's a great start. If you're looking for something that's going to encompass your whole environment, then yes, you may want to look at a paid solution. The free ones that are out there are great, like, Google has their authentication, Microsoft has theirs with their 365, to have multi-factor for that. Don't get me wrong, those are great by all means. If you're looking for something that you want to incorporate into some verticals within your industry, like for instance, having multi-factor authentication for when you sign on to your computer at the start of the day, or having a almost think of it like an intranet or like a portal that when you authenticate with your multi-factor, you have your applications available to you that you've authenticated to. So
great. Okay, and what about password managers? Do you have a preferred password manager?
I wouldn't say I have I do have a preferred one personally. I'm not going to say that's the one to use, but personally I use Bitwarden. We have several customers out there that we've set up and deployed LastPass for. It's one of the more popular ones. And it works great. It works great in an enterprise environment because you have a central administration portal where you can configure policies for your organization to control how that is handled.
Okay, great. All right, so that's all I had for questions. Is there any questions from the attendees here today? All right, Adam, did you want to add anything, or?
No, I'm great. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's and good job, Justin. It's a definitely exciting time, and we're really having some fun working with our SMBs, and it's great to see them taking advantage and attending webinars like this and really learning. And then the thirst is out there for this information, so it's really, really important. I can't stress it enough. So good job, and thank you.
All right, well, thank you, Justin and Adam, for presenting today, and thank you everyone for attending, and we'll look forward to seeing you at our next webinar session in November. Thank you.